Are you interested in knowing what it's like to be in the solo studio lounge on the NCL Prima, Viva, I would guess upcoming Aqua, and probably their future ships still to come? Well, all that and more is on today's episode on Our Next Adventure, where I'm going to be showing you and giving you my thoughts and reviews of the Solo Studio Lounge. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to Our Next Adventure with me, Jason. And yes, in today's video, we're going to dive straight into the NCL Prima Solo Studio Lounge. Now, I want to give you guys a heads up. I'm going to be trying something a little different here in this video. Number one, I am going to let my past self do all the talking for the most part. And if there's something that I wouldn't have been able to be aware of or think of, because at the time of recording this footage, I was still in the middle of my experience. And so maybe I was still holding back on my final thoughts. So I'll interject every now and again. This won't be the last time that you see of me, so just be prepared for that. However, when it's all over and the tour's done, whatever final thoughts I actually have now, having gone through the whole experience and actually having gone through the ship not being able to access the Solo Studio Lounge as a solo, I'll be giving you my thoughts right at the very end. So without further ado, take it away, me from the past. And you can see we have the sign saying Studios, Lounge and Staterooms to the left. So with quite literally just a couple of steps, you can see the sign here for the Studios Lounge. There are multiple one of these across Deck 12. And as long as you are in a solo category cabin, your card will have access to this area. Hey, I know you missed me, so I just want to make sure that this point is super clear, because I'm going to be saying it quite a lot in this video and I don't want to leave anyone out of here. Maybe you're new to traveling, new to solo traveling, new to cruising. So let's be very explicit here. So the solo category cabin determines the fact that you have access to the studio lounge, not your travel arrangement. So if you are solo, but you're traveling in a double occupancy cabin, the cabin is still not considered a solo category cabin, which means you are not entitled to access to the solo studio lounge. I've heard that they occasionally will grant access to this if that is your situation. However, it will also factor in whether or not the ship is very busy or full, and they could still even deny you if it were an empty ship. So now that that's out the way, back to the video. Okay, and you are now inside the studios and studio lounge rooms, which have a slightly different aesthetic. So you can see also goes down there. It's pretty much the same corridor. There's a multiple of these, so it's not just these two corridors. And straight ahead over there is the studio lounge itself, and we just walk a few more steps forward and we're going to get to the studio lounge. Let's go. And my cabin takes me to this entrance. There's essentially three sections. So this is where you have, I would say, the best section, because you have your coffee machine. The coffee is completely complimentary in the solo studio, so also rather solo lounge, because you don't have to be in a studio cabin to have access to the lounge. You just need to be in a solo category cabin. You then have fresh juice, and then this is sort of like a snack selection here. It changes throughout the day, so right now you can see we still have these sort of morning and breakfast snacks. This is where everyone will put their empty or dirty glasses. Unfortunately, the soda machine has been out this entire time, so that's unfortunate. And the other day the water thing gave issues and started making loud noises, so they're busy repairing that, although this is the first time I've seen this all on the outside. That was very recent. You do have on tap beer as well as wine, and I believe this is their cocktails that are on tap. So there's something called Monkey Business and Smoked Peach Margarita. They have plastic cups for you to use, whether it's for any of this or even the juice, but you obviously also have over there your plastic, or hard plastic rather, and then actual coffee cups. As long as you've got a, drinks package of some sort, then you can use that here. But the only thing that you don't need a package for whatsoever is the coffee and obviously the juice and water. But everything else, so the spirits, soda, and that's it, you need to have a drinks package or whichever relevant drinks package. Oh, let's clarify that for a second. If you have a drinks package, then you can get soda and alcohol from those drink dispensing machines without any additional charge. If you don't have a drinks package, you can still get soda or alcohol from those machines, as long as you've got your card, of course, but you are going to get charged per each time that you use it. Great, back to the video. You have a nice station here if you want to wash your hands, etc. Again, plenty of seating spaces, right? And it's just very well decorated. It's very conducive for a social environment, which is obviously great if you're traveling by yourself and you want to meet some other people. Although, interesting enough, the space does not get used for any of the meetups. At least it hasn't this time. And I believe the reasoning for that's kind of fair. They said that it's because, you know, not everyone who's in a solo cabin, or sorry, rather, there are people who are not in solo category cabins that are traveling, and so for them, it would be kind of a problem. If they wanted to have access, they'd have to leave it open, and obviously someone could accidentally close it, etc. So I think that's kind of reasonable of them and pretty nice. But back to the rest of this row, or lounge rather. So here we have the screen. You can change the channel, right? The remote's over there. And they have a whole bunch of things available right now, and I think no one's really changed this except the other night the football was on. But you can see where you're going around, etc., and other information. And again, just plenty of seating area, so that's really lovely. And last sort of section here, last third, so to speak, again, more of a lounging area as well. And perfect timing just to end things off of this brief little tour. You can see here, this is for the studios that are on deck 13. So they do have the stairs. Of course, if you have mobility issues, then you can probably just catch the elevator down to 12 and then come through the studio passageway like you saw me. But you can see here on deck 13, very similar in terms of the aesthetic. Now, I was doing a back-to-back, so now that that sailing was over, not only was that sailing done for, but my second sailing in the back-to-back, I was not in a solo category cabin, meaning I didn't have access to the solo studio lounge. And so I had a really great time to be able to really think about how much did I miss it, what did I miss, what was so great, and my general thoughts about it. So here they are. First things first, was it the end of the world not having access to the solo studio lounge in my second sailing of the back-to-back? And the answer is no. Would I have liked access to it? Definitely, because what were some of the nice things about it? Well, one of the best things about the Solo Studio Lounge was that you could go and get complimentary coffee. Not only that, but it was definitely the best coffee on the ship, which is really funny. And I would argue that that's something that most people who have experienced it would come and back me up in saying. The other great thing I want to speak about, especially as someone who is in a solo studio cabin, is that it was so convenient being able to just go out of my room, and within a few steps, I was able to have access to coffee, snacks, juice, water, soda, etc. It was just so nice to be able to do that, especially in the morning. So yes, I'm going to head to breakfast, but if I just want some water because I've just woken up or something, I don't have to schlep all the way to go to a venue and get some water. No, it's like right there for me. So that was a really nice thing. And of course, if you're feeling peckish at night, as some people might be, you don't have to get room service. You don't have to like hoard a snack to your cabin or something. No, you can just literally take a short stroll, go into the studio, grab a little cookie or whatever it was that you wanted. You could eat it then and there. No crumbs have to come back to your cabin, and you're done. Go back to sleep if you can. It was really nice to have that. It wasn't the end of the world, but that nice convenience would creep up every now and again, especially when you now have to go to the corridor, go into the elevator, down the stairs, up the stairs, whatever it may be, in order to fulfill that need in the middle of the night or something. So I definitely miss that. Just a quick thing from me before we continue, and that is, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. It means an absolute fortune when you do that. Not only that, if you found this video useful or you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And of course, please leave your comments below on anything relating to the video or questions you may still have. Perhaps I'll then answer it in a live stream, or I'll try and get back to you on this video itself, which I love to do. I really do listen to your feedback, and I really do my best to respond to every single comment. Anyway, thanks so much for that. Back to the video. So do I think the Solo Studio Lounge on Prima at least is perfect? No, but what is? In fact, I kind of am happy just the way it is, because I understand that there's so many considerations that they have to make, and I'm just happy that it's there, that they thought about solo travelers and the solo experience and decided, you know what, activities are one thing, cabins are another, let's go that extra mile and give them their own dedicated space. It's really awesome, and I think it does the job. However, I want to hear from you. Have you been on any of NCL's other ships that have got slightly different organized or arranged studio lounges, or solo lounges rather? And what did you think about them? Did you have a favorite? Was the Prima one your favorite? And how would you improve the solo studio lounges in general? I'd love to know that. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, found it useful, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.